Hi, I'm Steffanie Rivers, and I want justice. The police officers involved showed reckless disregard. Hello and welcome to the video version of my journal. I'm Steffanie Rivers. Come on in to the conversation. You're watching me on several platforms. I'm multicasting. Yeah, that's the word. I'm multicasting on, you might be watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. On whatever channel you're watching, we want to welcome you to the conversation. And I want to thank you for my new followers on from YouTube and the positive feedback you're giving. If you are new to the conversation, we want to welcome you. If you are returning, welcome back. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you will be the first to know. Well, we're talking about Brittney Griner and the fact that she's back on U.S. soil after the U.S. government made a prisoner swap with Russia. In case you probably know by now, but maybe some people are not into keeping up with politics and the like, but they traded Griner's freedom in exchange for a Russian arms dealer named Victor Bout. He was being held in the United States, so they did a swap. Now, this dude's nickname is the Merchant of Death. They even made a movie about him because he traded so many arms, and those trades, the weapons were said to have killed tens of thousands of Africans. Nicolas Cage played this Merchant of Death dude in a movie called Lords of War. So if you saw that movie was about this guy that they traded Brittney Griner's freedom in exchange for this guy. So some people are happy for Griner. Others have said that if there was going to be a prisoner swap with Russia, that there were other people who were being held in Russia that should have been in front of Brittney Griner. So there's that. But when it comes to politics, the general public never really knows the full story. And there must be more to the story because Griner had been detained for for more than 10 months. She was detained in February of this year, 2022. That's 10 whole months. The swap could have happened earlier than it did if it was just going to be a swap. Why did it take so long? There must be more to the story that we're not being told. Maybe it was because Griner in recent weeks had been transferred to like a real prison facility. They were putting her in a holding facility, but once they decided that she was convicted and she wasn't going to be released, according to Russia, they had transferred her. And maybe that's why they did it. Some people are saying President Joe Biden's early Christmas gift to Black people was Brittney Griner's release. He seems to be giving us everything but what American descendants of slaves have asked for, which is reparations, given everything but. So maybe there was a free Christmas gift to us. I don't know, emoji. But this is how we actually remember seeing Brittney Griner when she left. Okay. But if you have seen the pictures of her being released a few days ago. I'm gonna show you those pictures if I can bring them up. This is how, and then see this picture. Right when I pull it up, it doesn't want to work. Let me see if I can get it to show us how she looks now. If this doesn't work this time. Okay, there she is. They made her cut her locks. And so, I don't know at what point that they made her cut her locks, but yeah, that's how she was looking the other day when she got released. So we don't know what what led up to the agreement of her being swapped out for this other guy, but they, she had to be going through something. Maybe it was getting worse. They felt like they needed to do something about it. I don't know. The United States claims that they didn't want to do the swap because it will put notable U.S. citizens at risk who travel to different countries that are not on the best terms with the United States, or that have stricter rules for foreigners of being kidnapped or detained and then traded for whoever that country wants to get released from the United States. So Russian President Vladimir Putin has a reputation for taking advantage of a situation to gain political advantage. So I know I travel abroad a lot. And if you travel abroad a lot, you just need to be aware of these possibilities when you travel for leisure or for business, that if you're in the wrong place, you might become a political target due to no fault of your own. But in Brittney's case, she was charged with illegal possession of marijuana according to Russia's laws. So whatever you do and wherever you go, do as they tell you to do, even if you don't agree with it. And even if it would be legal in the United States, which was her defense, that it was legal for her to have in the United States. But baby girl and all the other baby girls, you wasn't in the United States. You ain't in the United States. You got to do as they do wherever you are. So as for Griner, who is a member of the Phoenix Mercury, when she left last February, I bet she'll think twice about even eating Russian food, even eating Mexican food in Phoenix, let alone going near a border crossing, because I suspect also that her status in the WNBA will have to be revisited. And here's why I'm saying that. And if you haven't already, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. See, I know that when I rarely miss a couple of weeks working out. But when I do, especially when I was going through my medical issue, I just wasn't working out like I normally do. Missing a few weeks at the gym, your range of motion isn't the same. Okay, so if Griner hasn't been working out professionally, doing professional basketball workouts in 10 months, it's going to affect her, okay, physically. And so I'm sure I could beat Griner in a one-on-one basketball game right now. So if I can beat her, then yeah, they're gonna be trying to get her up to speed, because it's more than about getting her physically back to where she was. We don't know what she went through emotionally or the possible mental abuse that she was subjected to, being 6'8", a tall, openly gay Black woman in basically white Russia. Okay, so she and the fact that they had her at some point cut her hair. When people grow locks, that they do that most of the time for a particular reason. And so it takes years. That's not something that you can just go back and change locks, from 1 month to the next. It took her years to get her hair like that. So that is traumatic in itself, I'm sure. So we are, however you feel about the process for how she was released. It's traumatic, and we all dealing with different trauma. And hers is being in a foreign country for months, not knowing if she was going to be released, being told you're going to have to spend years here. Is That's just emotional trauma as well. So seriously though, don't be the next person to mess around and find out and go to a foreign country, thinking that you can do whatever you want and nothing's going to happen because you are a U.S. citizen. You might become a target because you are a U.S. citizen. So mind your P's and Q's when you travel abroad. Okay, I have a sponsor for this show, so I am going to show you that commercial right fast, and we'll be right back with some more information. So, this episode of my journal is brought to you by TCB Drone. So, if you ever thought about getting a drone, or you know someone who has a drone, or you're thinking of getting one for Christmas for someone, you might want to get them some drone lessons, because it's easy to purchase a drone, and it's easy to crash a drone. And if you are getting one of quality with a camera and all of that, the gimbal, that stuff is not cheap. It's expensive, as a matter of fact. So getting somebody drone lessons is might save you some time and heartache and some money. So I know by now everybody knows that Deion Sanders has left Jackson State University for the head coaching job, football head coaching job at University of Colorado. And those who care already have decided whether or not Deion is a sellout for doing that. But the bigger issue is, regardless of whether Sanders stayed in Mississippi or left for Colorado, did him going to Jackson State bring attention to a bigger and more important issue in the Black community that Black people in general need to face, and HBCUs in particular need to deal with? And that's, do we expect more of other people to support us and our institutions than we're willing to do for ourselves? If you are a graduate of a historically Black college or university, do you support your alma mater? Do you donate time? Do you donate money? Do you require your kids to go to HBCUs to support that? Or are you trying to get your child into a predominantly white university because you feel like they're going to get a better experience, whatever experience you think they're going to get, that it will happen at a predominantly white university instead of a HBCU? If so, why is that? Why do you think that? I'm hosting a special edition of my show on Wednesday, December 14th. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, with a former HBCU head football coach. I'm going to have a former HBCU football player and a current regional sports analyst. They're going to be my guests on that show. So don't miss it. And we will be doing call-ins to get your feedback. You're welcome, whoever you are, to call in and feedback. Give us your feedback, but especially if you went to an HBCU, we want to hear how you feel. We'll discuss the changes in coverage of Black college football because Deion Sanders became the head coach at Jackson State University to begin with. And if Black people have the right to be mad at him for advancing his own career, when most HBCU grads don't even support their alma maters, okay? So why are y'all mad at him because he going to the next level? Is it fair, or are y'all just haters? Okay. Join us on Wednesday, December 14th, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's it. To find out more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal. That's at eurweb.com.